Hi students, I wanted to show you a little bit about how to use our mask tool here in Adobe Photoshop. This is a really great tool because as you know before, you've used a whole bunch of tools including the lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool, and the magic wand to make selections. But as you know, you're quite limited in these because you can make your selection and it's kind of hard to get exactly everything that you want, especially looking at something like this, the African lion. This is a beautiful example, but the problem with this African lion is he's got a lot of fur, and it's kind of hard to make a good outline. Now I'm doing a little bit of a rough outline here, and of course that's not a good quality outline, so we want to see if we can make this a little bit better. Once you have this looking good, what you can do is go over here and turn on what's called your quick mask tool. Now you put your mouse over it, you have a little prompt that says edit in quick mask mode. If we click on there, you'll see the screen turns from color to red. If I click back on this other icon here, it turns back into a regular outline mode. So we have standard mode, we have mask mode. In standard mode, your selection is noted by this nice little dancing line going around the line here. If you go into mask mode, you're going to see that it's by red. Well, we want to make a little bit less red so that we have more selected. Click on your brush icon here, and you're going to see that we have a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to use a nice soft brush here. A little bit bigger here and a little bit softer. What that's going to do for me is that's going to allow me to actually really get nice fine lines here, and you can see it's going to look a little bit better. So I'm right now just clicking, I'm holding down, and I'm going nice and easy. What we're doing is we're basically selecting the outline of this wonderful line here. So we're going here. And you go nice and slow, you take it easy. If you need to, you can zoom in to get really accurate with your selections. As you can see, I missed part of his ear here. I can always go back and just add more. And you take it real easy. Now some of you will find that you're doing this and maybe you'll get distracted and oops, you made a mistake. Well, it's real easy to correct that mistake. You can just switch the colors here and fill it back in. So perfection is definitely an option in this case. Let's switch the keys again. Now what's important that I want you to notice is as we're doing this, we're making more of an outline. So our outline's expanding as we are taking away the red. Okay, that looks pretty good. So let's just check that out there. Okay, out of mask mode, you can clearly see that we have a really good selection. Well, let's have some fun with this selection. Before anything, if you notice our layer right here is locked. We want to get rid of that lock. We're going to drag our layer over to duplicate. It'll give us another layer. When we are selected on that layer, you know that because the paintbrush tool is selected. If you notice there's another button here for mask. This will create a masking layer. When we click on that, you'll notice here there is a nice image of a mask, and this is the image of what we have selected. To give you a better idea of what this looks like, if I take away our background layer, you can clearly see we just have the line selected, not the background. So that's our mask. Let's make this really beautiful and really artistic. Now I can't really do too much with our background layer because it's locked. Well, one way to get rid of that is we can duplicate that background layer again. And now let's delete the locked copy because we're not going to be able to do much with that. Okay, paintbrush is on this layer. Let's have a little bit of fun with this layer. I'm going to go into filter. And let's be a little artsy here. Let's make a nice little artistic render. We'll go into blur mode. And we're going to try to do a motion blur. And this is a neat little feature. Check this out. If you notice, it gives me a sample of what's going to go on here. Let's really go distorted with this. And if you notice, the image is changing in the back as I'm doing this. So let's give a really distorted motion there. And that's really nice. You can change the angle. And if I hit OK, you're going to see here you have a really, that line now almost looks three-dimensional. Let's do some more. Well, if you notice down here, you have a little bit of, it looks like a black and white cookie that you would get at a diner. Yummy, yummy, yummy. But this black and white cookie is going to do something a little bit different. This creates a new fill or adjustment layer. Let's adjust our background layer. So I'm still here working on our background layer. going to click on this, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun with our brightness. Now we'll go down to hue and saturation. So let me just make sure this is on screen here so you can see it. Okie doke. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first decrease the saturation. What that does is the saturation is like a sponge. It has all the color in it. If I decrease the saturation, it sucks all the color out of the picture. If I put too much, it overcolors it. So as you can see, I can go either extreme. I can go really, 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 really no saturation, no color at all, or I can go a lot of saturation and really overcolor it. Either way has a really nice dramatic effect. Go with what works for you. I'm going to get the saturation out of there and try to make it a little bit neater. And I'm going to actually even decrease the lightness, so I'm really have something that stands out. Well, that looks pretty nice. So we're negative 100 for saturation, negative 40 for lightness. Going to hit OK. If you notice here, it added a new layer. That's my adjustment layer. And it's hue and saturation tells me what I did. If I unclick that eye there, you'll see that it gets rid of that. So we've got our blur. So this is what we have so far. We have our blurred background layer. Then we've got the desaturation and the darkened layer. That's the adjustment layer, noted here. And then we got the layer mask. Oh, that's our original line there. You know, this is good, but I think we can even have a little bit more fun with this. Click up here, and let's have some fun with this lion. See how really you can see his fur and it looks really neat? Well, let's sharpen it up some more. Since we have it indicated that we have this layer selected, we can go to Filter. And let's go to Sharpen. Let's sharpen up his fur a little bit. And if I hit that, if you notice now, look at this. Looks a little bit better. I can even sharpen again. So I'm going to go Filter, and I'm going to go to Sharpen. Now that might even be too much, but I'm going to leave it because I still think it really gives it that three-dimensional sharp look. And we have a beautiful artistic photo here. If you really want to go for the extra points, well, create a text layer. Click on that T to add some text, and I'm going to call this My Lion. And if it's not big enough, that's okay. We can always expand this here to accommodate all our text. Click the checkbox, or actually if you want to have fun with it, you can go to this T with the arc under it. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a wave to it. Yeah, it looks kind of neat. Maybe change our bend a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of, and that's a little funky. Click on the move to put it where we want it. And now you've got yourself a really beautiful artistic photo. Remember, background layer, we've got our adjustment layer, we've got our layer mask, and now we have a text layer. Keep in mind, you always want to make sure you save your work. You don't want to be stuck without it. If you have any questions, you can always go on my site, paulpellick.com, or you can watch this video over again. Thanks for paying attention. We hope you have a great rest of your day.